let me introduce to you our tonight's guest speaker. So he is an automation manager at AXA Philippines. He held several roles in AXA and won the AXA Asia Leap Award in 2019. So let's give the floor to Mr. Arvin Jasper Delos Santos.
Hi, Tin. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Like what we always say in our company, it's good morning at some part of the world. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. First of all, I would like to thank Tin and Monster Lab for inviting me to be your speaker for tonight. I would like to wish everyone happy holidays. I know that it's already the season of just we just want to relax and just get in touch with our family and friends, especially in these trying times. So I would like to thank you all personally for attending and making time for this. So I would also like to tell everyone that this is my first speakership. So I'd really love to get your feedback. If there will be any for me to improve, of course. Next time. So without further ado, again, my name is Arvin. So let me just share my screen here. Just a moment. All right. So can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. So the title of my presentation is RPA Journey and its value. I'll be talking about our journey in AXA Philippines as well as my own personal journey in the RPA and how it translates to value to the business, to my organization, and to the whole AXA PH community. So let me just start off with just a brief introduction about myself. So again, my name is Arvin Jasper Delos Santos. You may call me Arvin or Jasper, or my friends call me Jap, whatever you want. I'm the automation manager for AXA Philippines. My LinkedIn is also posted there, so if you want to connect with me, feel free to do so. I was a graduate of information technology back in 2014 at AMA Computer College in Makati. I work for almost 7 years now in the IT industry, focusing on insurance, which is the industry that my company is, AXA Philippines. So that's for life and GI. And I also had prior experience in BPO, so that's around 3 years. So I held several roles, as Dean mentioned, with AXA. I started actually as an end user support, and I climbed my way up now as an automation manager for AXA Philippines. I hold several certifications as well, Six Sigma, ITIL, and also Microsoft Azure Fundamentals. This is actually a reason for this is because you will see I actually started under IT operations. So pretty much all my certifications are still IT operations related. For the awards, like Dean also mentioned a while ago, we were awarded as a team the AXA Asia Leap Awards of 2019. So this award was given by AXA Group operations, and I believe some of my colleagues are here. So thank you so much for the acknowledgement. Okay, so that's pretty much about me. So let me start. No? For how we started or how RPA started in AXA. So uh, it started actually back in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. And if you look into my bio, I was not in a way connected to RPA yet because I joined sometime around 2018 in the RPA community of AXA. No, so we started 2017, and it's not even actually IT that time. No, it's RPA started in AXA with operations. That's AXA, the operations division of AXA. That's where it all started in 2017. And then I onboarded around 2018, somewhere around Q3 or Q4, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, and then that's where my RPA personal RPA career started. Until now, which is 2021 already, and a lot has happened. As we all know, there's a pandemics, and then there's also the typhoons and everything. Even in the past, even before this very recent typhoon, that so it struck us. But going back, it started 2017, and I'll be showing you some figures actually to help you understand how we went through from a no RPA company to a full-blown RPA community with the help of people and our partners and our vendors as well. Okay, so how did it start? So again, like what I said a while ago, it started 2017. And the first bot was ever developed and deployed. Again, it's under operations. I don't. During this time, I think I'm still in the server administrative role. I'm a server administrator during this time, so I don't really know what's happening. That there is already an RPA team being built in AXA, because my focus back then was really server administration, trying to learn more about Azure actually, because cloud is really stepping up. It's coming out of our strategies. It's been the talk of the town in trying to move to cloud and everything. So during this time, I believe it was headed by our CI team, or our continuous improvement team under operations, which they developed the first bot. And that bot is actually just one for that year alone, just one. So it's like 12 hours. It saved 12 hours, and FTE, as we all know, is full-time equivalent. So it saved 0.07, and the cost is just 1,000. Oh, I'm talking about Philippine peso here, by the way. Okay, so just the measly count, really, to start. Again, I am not yet involved during this time. I don't even know what RPA is at that time. I guess there's really a lot of ignorance going on there. But it didn't even cross my mind that I'll be in this space after a few years. Okay, so moving on, in 2018, we started the journey. I think this is a personal start for me in the RPA space, or in the RPA domain. So we started it. I started around, I think, if I'm not mistaken, September or October that year. So I was introduced by my former manager to the automation manager back then. So we were tasked with getting the support for the bots that were deployed in production, because during this time the development is in full swing. So as you can see, the bot count is already at 18, and the time saves is around 11,000, and the FTE saves 6.54. So that's a very big leap from the 2017 numbers. Okay, and we got a 3.86 million cost save. So we do have a calculator that we use to calculate everything. I'm not sure if I can say this, but we're using UiPath, so we mostly based our computations in how we even structure our governance with the help of our vendor in UiPath, and also our regional partners as well during that time. So again, that is the start of the IT RPA journey. I was with IT operations back then. I am not yet fully integrated in the RPA domain, because I also have other roles, like I also manage data center and also monitoring of the whole IT infrastructure for AXA Philippines. So this was basically just a little part, or just a part of my work, really, as IT operations center in RPA lead that time, in 2018. So I remember we even took a trip to Singapore at that time, and this was very memorable because that is my first overseas, I guess, travel. So it's very memorable for me. So there we attended a. I think this is the. It's sponsored by. I'm not sure if it's UiPath or AXA Singapore. But we attended there and we got to meet people inside our community, inside the AXA community in Asia, and we're able to connect with them as well. So that's a very enlightening experience, and also we got the knowledge. Sharing is very important during that time. So when we came back, we were able to at least impart that to our team, and also try to convert that into action. So again, that's the first year, if I'm not mistaken. So to my colleagues, I hope my memory is serving me right now. So feel free to chat me if I'm wrong with all these timelines. Okay. So going back, the first IT and RPA operations collaboration. So there were actually two teams. Yeah, so one in IT and one in operations already. And I believe the former uh, lady in this post is I believe she was the first one to create our first RPA governance model. So for anyone here in the team who is actually just planning to create or to start or kick off their RPA journey, I believe it's very important. It's very important and paramount to have this governance model. Why? Because this will guide you basically on how the RPA will work. Because in the first place, you cannot just buy licenses, then get developers and start the development. No, it doesn't work like that. No. So I believe we have some vendors here. I'm not sure. Um, I believe they can help us, no, or they can help you uh, create or start or kick off that journey. But if you already have an existing model, an existing operations for RPA, then and if you haven't got an RPA governance model yet, then I believe this is the right time to do so because uh, the governance helped us a lot, really, especially with our strategy. No, without the governance, basically you're just trying to develop and develop. Yes, you are getting your FTE saves, you are getting your cost saves, your time saves, your bot counts, everything. Yes, you are basically getting and mining all the benefits of RPA. Because again, RPA is a non-intrusive application, so you don't really need to set up a very big infrastructure, or you need to liaise with other process owners to really get the RPA going. So it can go by itself, basically, is what I'm saying. So the governance really helped us a lot, especially with collaboration and also strategizing it with the upper management. So I believe one important aspect of our governance model is we were able to get the buy-ins of the people up top. So basically, our C-level officers. I think that's one of the for me during that time when I still don't know what's happening really, because again I'm still new to the space. I think that's one of the things that I admire that the previous automation manager did. So she took the right steps really for us to go into that uh, uh, road that we want to take, because in the first place, if this is not set up properly, I don't think that you're setting up for success. So basically, you really have to lay the foundation. You talk to people. You just don't put up a team and then start developing. No, I believe there's more than that. If you are experienced with setting up teams, then you know what I'm talking about. So that's it. That's the first governance model. I was introduced, by the way, because I'm not the one who did it. So it was there. It was introduced to us. It was shared to us during even brown bag sessions and workshops. Because RPA is there. Went back in 2017, but it's not really full blown. Like people still has doubts because I think this was the time that people are talking like, oh, RPA. So uh, they will automate the process. They will automate the work. So people have it in mind that they think that these robots will replace them. I believe some of you, or maybe a lot of you, will relate to me because these people they tend to think that way. I thought that way too back then, but because we were able to educate and evangelize, as what the previous automation manager told me, we were able to remove that. And it's very important to get partners, especially with HR, because they can help you, get the information, the right information out. That RPA is not there actually to replace you, but help you be more efficient and you focus on the human side of work. So moving on, we also developed coding standards, which is basically same for everyone. Okay, even other applications is doing this. Desktop bots are the thing. So basically, we develop and we put them in traditional or regular desktops. So what's the problem? The problem there is if there will be a fluctuation, which happens, I think, once or twice a year, depends on the situation, the bots will die. I mean, of course, no power means no bot. So um, way back then, that's the thing, because of course you need to secure budget and everything. Okay, so we deploy bots in those desktops, and try to run them. Sometimes there are bots, I think, that were run 24 hours a day, and then they just continue the next day. Depends really, but yeah, they're the thing. I mean, of course, you need to secure funds. You need to secure budget if you want better infrastructure. But we started that way. Desktop bots. That's that we have, and of course, like I mentioned a while ago, we had the collaboration with other AXA entities. So we had collaboration with our regional partners and also with our vendor. Again, it's UiPath. So moving forward, 2019, again, the collaboration is still ongoing. It's IT and operations. And then still the governance model is in place. We made some adjustments. I think she made some adjustments. RPA developer and coding standards still there. Collaboration with AXA entities, and I believe this is the year that we onboarded RPA into our change advisory board. So we have CAB. If there are some ITIL practitioners here, so we do CAB. We integrate RPA into CAB to make sure it's standard, to make sure it follows all the rules and regulations of the IT operations. Being in the IT operations, I have to adhere to the standards. Of course, it doesn't mean that RPA is non-intrusive. It is easily built. Well, it depends on the use case, but doesn't mean that it will not adhere to the standards that we already have in place. So we have CAB for that, and I believe this is where we officially uh, put up the RPA operation support model. So what is our RPA operation support model? So basically, we put level 1, level 2, level 3 teams to work on this, because before it's the developers and the developers alone who does support, who does develop, who does everything for the bots. So they do develop the bots, and they do support the bots that's already in production, which is basically hampering their development timeline. So again, the previous automation manager did was to establish this in the first place, and actually my team back then was the one who's handling level 1 and level 2 support. And take note that these teams, the team that I handled that time, doesn't actually have RPA skill set as well. So basically, we're like those, I believe we call it RPA citizen developers, because we train and we do the UiPath Academy during that time. I believe I put that as part of the team's KPI to make sure that everyone um, understands, even in the basic level, understands how RPA works. Because how could we support on the level 1 and level 2 capacity if we don't even know how it works? So, with the help of our developers back then, we were able to assimilate and we're able to actually make the RPA our own. Why am I saying how? Why am I saying that? Because uh, we ourselves became developers. Well, me as the exception because I'm not really a developer by nature, but I at least understand how it works. Not really on a very technical level, but at least I understand it in a way that I can communicate this with our business stakeholders and even the internal stakeholders inside the IT operations. So we were trained by our L3 teams, and we're grateful for them because they've been very helpful for us on how to adapt to this new technology. So we were really that type of people that we want new technologies. We try it, of course within the guidelines of our company. Um, and we see if there is really a need. And we saw that RPA can really actually help us in our day-to-day work. Like what I said, we do monitoring, we do the data center and all other stuff. So we were able to actually apply what we learned. So we're not just supporting during this time, 2019. We're not just supporting the bots uh, being developed and put into production by the developers, but we're also doing the developing ourselves. Of course, we don't know all these developing coding standards and everything, but eventually, once we get the hang of it, we're able to help. We're able to ask our developers, our L3 developers, on how we do it, on how they do it, how to do it properly. Because again, it started as like um, it started like it's just a hobby actually of one of my one of my team members, and then eventually he created something, and it became it was integrated in our day-to-day activities, especially in the monitoring side of things. So that's where it started. So he became actually a level 2. He got promoted actually to the position. So I believe that that speaks a lot for us when if RPA is concerned, because we were able to harness uh, the technology, and not just support but actually use it in our day-to-day activities. So again, since this is already 2019, I believe somewhere down the road, we were able to secure budget or funding for this. So we were able to get virtual machines with the help of the IT operations team. So instead of using desktop bots, we're already deploying these bots in VMs. So we were able to utilize these virtual machines and ensure that these bots will run seamlessly. So we were able to deploy these bots without any worries that there will be a power interruption, or there will be a sudden shutdown. Because of course, resiliency speaking, of course, visual machines are more resilient than a desktop machine. So we're able to put this in our VMs in our local environment, and then again, like what I mentioned, we're able to do some citizen developer training as well, and then the workshops and brown bag sessions. I believe this was the part where we're really evangelizing everyone. Guys, look into your process, look into what you do every day. See if we can automate something. We were those guys, and with the help of the L3, with our developers, we were able to do it. No, so we were able to extend our reach, not just within our team but also outside the team. We were able to help people inside our team, inside our even other departments actually, because of this. So bot count 46, time saves is around 28,000 hours, and FTE is at 15.67, and the cost save is at 10.99 million. So that's actually again a lot. from a lot of jump from the 3.86 back in 2018. So going to 2020, which is I believe our least favorite year. So again, I believe this was transitioned already to the next manager, if I'm not mistaken. So there were some adjustments in the governance model. So it became the second or version to the governance model. Some updates there. And then, of course, the collaboration with other AXA entities and our regional support groups is still there, and the change advisory board is still there. So everything's pretty much the same. And virtual machines became the go-to, uh, and because we're already migrating as well some of these desktop bots to our virtual machines. Um, so if last year we're just starting to put bots in the VMs, now we're migrating those bots in the desktops to the virtual machines. Again, we're trying to harness the resiliency of these VMs compared to those desktops. So 2020 still a very good year for us. 71 bot count, 35,000 hours, 24 FTE saves, and 14.9 92 million in cost saves. Again, uh, this I haven't. I'm not yet the automation manager this time. I'm still under IT operations, so we're still supporting the bot on a level one and level two capacity. Okay, for the current year, 2021. Again, this is actually the part where I became the automation manager for AXA Philippines. We did some updates in our governance model. We also, I believe, finished the migration of desktop bots to our VF bots, and of course, the brown bag sessions and the workshops are still ongoing because. Since there's still a lot of opportunities still in different divisions. Just to add, though, our biggest um, client is finance and the HR team. So they're really a big help when we were just starting because a lot of their tasks are repetitive, you know, and critical in nature. So meaning to say, their task requires the right accuracy as well. So RPA really goes well um, with those things. So okay, so during this time, we do have 71 bot counts, 35,000 hours of time saves. Oh, sorry, or I think. Oh, yeah, I was not able to update, but yeah, I believe the cost saves around this time is already 21 million. So that is our latest, and the bot count is 76, by the way. And then cost saves is around 21 billion. So a little bit smaller compared to our 2019 and 2020 numbers. Why? Because in the first place, there's a lot being automated. There's a lot of process being automated already. That a lot of our tasks is really to enhance, especially with the bots that are really application dependent. So you know what I'm saying. Like for example, a core system updates. So definitely there are some updates that needs to be done in the bot as well. So most of our workload was really on that part already. There are still some bots coming in, new development, but mostly we do it for the enhancements. Again, to ensure that the bots being developed previously are still functioning as they are requested or as they are needed. And coming in next year, of course, in the years to come, I believe we're trying to explore OCR here at AXA. Also, for my team here, I'm not sure if there's someone from claims. We're also trying to explore end-to-end claims automation. We're also trying to tackle bigger automations next year as well. And I'm very keen to actually integrate AI into our automation. So I believe that's what intelligent automation is. And of course, we also have a lot of pipeline backlogs though that we have coming in. I mean, from 2021 going into 2022, and of course. since it is again RPA is also part of operations, so the continuous improvement of existing bots is also mandatory, and continuous learning and development as well. So again, RPA is there, but of course the technology is also evolving. So we also have to adapt. We also have to uh, be in the know of what is the new trends for RPA. And of course, one of the bigger projects that we have is move to cloud. It's one of the things that we really want to do, and we are trying to explore options as early as now on how to do this in the future. So again, oh, by the way, this is the figures for 2021. So as of November. So we have around 76 bots running, 49,000 hours, 36.5 FTE saves, and around 21 million in cost saves. Okay, so going into the value again, like what I mentioned, we do this is the total uh, bots per division. We do have a lot, as you can see in the chart. We do have a lot of finance and human resources bots. They're really the people who really have a lot of tedious. And I think that's really given, given given their workload and what they do in our organization. I do believe that there's really a lot of opportunities for automation, also with operations, and some in transformation and our CSE, or our customer experience team. So these are just some graphs on the cost saves and FTE saves. We really do see a big rise, of our cost saves from 2018 to 2019, because I believe that's where the great RPA age for AXA Philippines happened. No? There's a lot of bots, really new bots coming in, and I think that's also the reason why the previous automation manager was did reach out to the IT operations team to help manage the bots. So again, 185% increase from 2018 to 2019, and then 36%, and then 41% this year. And then for FTE saves, we do have again a very big jump, 140%, and then 2019 57, and then the last is 50% in 2021. So we still have bots, I believe, that is being developed, and we haven't put that in there yet. So we will have that updated, of course. So for the count again, I just want to focus on the left side, the bot count. So you can see from 2017, there's just really one, and then now there's like 76. So that's how big the leap from one to 76 during the stretch of the years that we are developing RPA. By the way, I can see the questions. I will try to answer them later after the meeting. I mean, after the discussion. So this will be the last part of my discussion. So I guess I would just like to share some tips, for people here who wants to start their RPA journey, or even those who already started and wants to get more insights on how to do it effectively or efficiently. Number one is to set up right. I believe this is the part where you really have to do it right the first time. Because again, like what I mentioned earlier, if you just set up the team and you don't get any buy-ins, you don't get support from other divisions and departments, I believe you will, yes, again, you will gain the the investment that you provided, but I don't think it will be long term. Okay, so again, I'm basing this from my experience. So I believe we have to set this up right. Get to know, get the buy-ins from the higher ups, talk to other divisions, tell them that this is what you have, this is what you want to do. Let them think on what the things that they can automate, and especially, of course, educate them that RPA will not hurt you or harm you in any way, but it's actually a good thing for you. Of course, get to know the technology. You have to embrace it. The RPA technology, I believe, is not relatively new anymore. I'm not sure when was the first automation back then, but we adapted it back in 2017. Again, we were able to embrace it. We're able to get not just support again, but we're able to harness the technology, and we're able to use it in our day-to-day operations. And that's actually basically uh, one of the things that you really need to uh, to do. You have to know the technology. You have to be like an influencer of the technology. You really have to believe in the technology and what it can provide to you or to the team or to your organization. Again, like what I mentioned, I've been telling this to you the whole night. Get support from higher ups. Definitely, they're the one who has command of the budget, of course. No, not just that, but actually the strategy. No, the steering and also what projects to prioritize. They have actually that kind of influence, in the organization. Of course, you also have to partner up, like what I've been telling to you as well. Partner up with different departments and divisions. You can't be inside, for example, if you're in IT department, you can't be just inside the IT department. You have to reach out, even in branches, operations, finance, HR. You have to include everybody. Yeah, I believe I forgot to mention, but we do have like partners for every divisions or every departments. I believe that we regularly have check-ins with. So to ensure that they come up with or they check possible automation opportunities in the future. So we of course we line it up and put it in our pipeline. And yeah, this is one of the things that I really want to highlight is to neutralize the negativity. Again, like what I mentioned a while ago, you really have to educate and train. This actually happens when the team is just starting and the RPA is just starting in the company or in the organization. Of course, you really have to invest. No, you have to buy the infrastructure, or if you're in the cloud, you have to buy uh, subscription, or and of course the licenses and everything, and even you have to get a developer on board, BA, QA, everything. So um, you really have to educate people. Like, this is not a bad thing for you, but this is actually good. And even they are actually can adapt the technology, because RPA is a low code platform or application. Again, I'm not a developer, so you can quote me if I if I said it incorrectly. Um, and it's very easy to learn, even if you are not a developer by nature or by profession. So again, my team is not the developers. We are a team of IT operation people, hardline for infrastructure, data center operations. We were able to use RPA. So what stops you and the people around you from doing so? So yeah, it's actually more it's better rather to actually harness the technology rather than just um, shoo it away and don't reap the benefits of RPA. And lastly, of course, continuous improvement. Always look for opportunities. I don't think RPA stops at RPA. There is always and will always be a better solution, or if not a better solution, there will be a solution that will fit inside or in parallel with RPA, and that's actually what you can look out for. Continuous improvement in the application or in the technology, and also to yourself, of course. No? You always visit the process. You always visit uh, the the governance, everything. Even how developers do or code. So you have to catch up with them, check in with them, even talk to your vendors on a regular basis. So you could get what are the new things in RPA, what can you use, get POCs, get demos, and try to apply those in your current RPA. scenario, and who knows, you might get something out of it. So I guess that would be it for my presentation. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. Again, this is my first time doing this, so thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate the feedback, and thank you.